All right, thank you for staying with us. It's time to know what's on the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers. Public affairs analyst Shijibumi Adebi Bennett and political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kayode joins me now to look at the papers. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC. Very well, thank you. All right, let's get straight to the papers now, and I begin with the Leadership newspaper. Constitutional role for royal father sparks national debate. Lawyers, regional bodies differ. Leave them as custodians of culture, says Middle Belt Forum. They have major role to play in governance. ACF, Afenifere, CNG insists. All right, let's move now to the front page of the national economy. Post-harvest losses in Nigeria hits 3.42 trillion naira annually. All right, you can get more on that story on the front page of the national economy. Let's quickly move now to the front page of the Business Day. Is government more custody of unclaimed dividends? What's global best practice? That's the big question. And to the front page of the Business AM, inflation settles on Nigerian onion. New gold as food prices skyrocket. Food prices rising by over 200% across markets. Torrential rainfall, inadequate storage to blame. All right, let's quickly move now to the front page of the Blueprint. Withholding tax, VAT, Senate queries FIRS over MDA's unremitted 1.4 billion naira. The Defaulters reported to DMO for necessary sanction FIRS. $750 million World Bank loan pushes Nigerians' debt profile to 32.87 trillion naira. All right, to the front page of the Daily Times. Now, federal government processes 284 billion naira loans for states. Let's quickly move now to the front page of the Daily Sun. Police fireworks as Inspector General of Police Adamu's retirement nears. Forces press for extension. No legal basis for 10-year extension, lawyers group. Don't urinate on amended Police Act. Ajulo cautions Buhari. Please keep mum. And to the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, insecurity heightens. Fear grips Lagos, Edo, Delta, Kaduna, others as robbers, cultists, hoodlums run riot. 37 killed in Edo in 1 week, 6 in Delta in 4 days, 1 in Ilorin. We'll be looking at that story shortly. And to the front page of the Daily Trust now, gunmen kill 15, abduct many along Kaduna Abuja Road. Women, children among victims. Man kidnapped at Abuja Highbrow area. Mpape, wife of abductor Zaria Poli lecturer, speaks. Disquiet in Kano as police kill 2 youths. And to the front page now of the Nigerian News Direct, defection you're unfair to Southeast, Umahi tells the PDP. And finally, on the front page of the Nation newspaper, post #EndSARS, police to undergo massive reform. Lawmakers working with executive, others to prevent future brutality. 9,604 community police constables to be deployed. Gentlemen, let's quickly look at the story on the front page of the Vanguard, talking about insecurity. A lot of Nigerians are living in palpable fear, looking at the level of looting of police stations, and we're seeing some of the effects. There was an armed robbery case in Ajah, Lagos, that was last week. Edo State is also complaining. Kaduna, where we have some persons, about 15 persons that were killed, as it is being reported in the front page of the Daily Trust as well, as there were some also kidnapped, and we have 37 were killed in Edo State. I just want you to react to the level of the heightening insecurity that we are witnessing at a time such as this, Dr. Kayode.
You see, it appalls me all of the time when all we see as making the headlines of newspapers these days is all about killings there, killings there.
Are they not happening? Shouldn't they be reported?
No, what I'm saying is a series of insecurity that we are now witnessing in our country, rather than economic emancipation of the country. Based even on the fact that all these state governors, they also take what I call security votes.
Right.
So it's becoming something that one cannot really explain what they are using that security vote for. Okay, look at what has happened in Delta, Kaduna, Edo, Lagos. When are people going to be secured? Minding that without security, economic activities cannot thrive.
Absolutely.
You can also see there was another airline now talking about food insecurity. It's not only about rain, no. It's because people cannot even go to the farm to farm. They cannot go there to tend their crops. So why won't there be also food insecurity? Even beyond that, for people, I was discussing with somebody yesterday outside the country. They always talk about coming back from work at about 1 a.m., going to work at about 3 a.m. I said, that cannot happen here. Because you'll be afraid of one, not to be kidnapped for ransom. You'll be afraid not to even be killed. You'll be afraid not to even have transportation on the road. How will you expect all those transportation companies to be working when there is insecurity? There is no, even on the road, there is nothing like lightning system. You can drive conveniently on the highway abroad even without putting on your headlamp. So these are issues that are always giving me concern. And not until government decide to handle, to be sincere as regards handling security matters. Look at what happened about, I think a week or 2 weeks ago. An American was abducted in Niger Republic, brought to Nigeria, and under 12 hours, the Americans, they came all the way from that place, and then they released their just one single citizen. Not until when Nigeria is looking at such issues as an example, how are these people doing their own? And then for us to follow suit. You know, on this platform, I've said this so many times. What is our Niger Concert doing?
All right.
Because this is an institution that is supposed to be monitoring the territorial boundaries and the inside of Nigeria with satellite imagery.
All right, let's quickly get to Shijibumi now. Just this morning, according to some of the papers, we read that some police officers, a majority of them are resigning and dropping their letters because of what the situation on the ground, and their resignation letters are being rejected. And he has spoken about the insincerity of government. How do you reconcile this? Has the government been insincere over time? Because the government, earlier this year, you would recall that the president assented to the Police Reform Act.
Yes. I think we're not looking at the problem from the root source.
What is the root?
For me, security will continue. I'm an optimist, but we have to say it as it is. Security will continue to decline in Nigeria if we have this present structure.
The structure is the problem?
Yes. People always refer to when we were a bit safe, maybe while I was growing up, early 80s and all that, but the sophistication in the world at that time is not the same sophistication now. The level of ICT that has even gone into technology has really is amazing. Now, and we have a lot of vice, or let me say vices in the society that will always make this happen. Like the issue of Edo State was not even about maybe robbery or any of that. It was a cult war, and 30-something people lost their lives. An ACP that found himself in the line of fire almost lost his life. And where did we get it wrong? People don't have stake in security. If you look at the commissioner of police or commissioners of police in the different states, where are they from? Do they understand the people?
The terrain?
The terrain. Take the issue of Delta State, for example. In Delta State alone, we have like 5 tribes. it will take not only understanding the terrain, but, you know, personal and interpersonal relationship. EHI, for somebody to monitor and to police a state, who happens to be the head of the security agency, maybe a commissioner of police, because you have to understand different tendencies. When this don't happen, you see an issue of people within the same state, towns coming against each other. So we don't have stake. Now, and you know, we are just seeing the effect of the post-NSAS issue. When you have breakdown of law and order for almost 2 weeks, the effect will definitely play out. And we're moving towards December. People have gotten guns from those policemen. The policemen are not telling you some things they know. They know how their armory has been encroached and, looted. They know what is in the hands of the enemy. So if you are somebody, and you know, for a policeman that knows the structure of it, that knows that if anything happens to him today, nothing, the family will not benefit, how will he not drop a resignation letter? Because he knows the problem coming. And I said it, I was discussing on a platform the other time, and I said it that, okay, we have commissioners of police, or the IG, visiting different states. What has the private sector done? We've left everything to the government. What has CAN done? What has Murik or Islamic Association done?
They are calling on the religious leaders to come in.
How have they gone to those people, you know, maybe have a kind of interdenominational service, encourage them, and share in what they've gone through? We could say some policemen were very erratic then, and that caused them. But you still have to give it to the bulk of professionals and innocent people who also bore the brunt of some of the bad eggs. So what have we done as a people? The Nigeria Economic Group, they did, palliatives for people during the lockdown. We saw some of those palliatives that were not shared, that people looted. How have they come in to encourage the police? So in Nigeria, everybody does like this until the problem now becomes a big and bigger one. And that will now be running helter-skelter on how to solve it. So it's not just leaving the problem for the government.
At the table of the government.
I believe everybody must come in, encourage the police, spend good money, equip them, let them see change.
So the government alone cannot finance the police.
It's not about finance now. It's about getting them from where they are.
And moving them to where they should be.
Where they should be. In terms of their morale, in terms of helping them to the sense of belonging. And every policeman is not encouraged in Nigeria today. And if I were a son of one, what do you expect? Do I want my dad to be killed?
Absolutely
so
not.
These are things that we have to think about. And not just, share the blame, leave the government to it. The government will always be the government. The policemen are part of us. They are supposed to protect us. So if the policies from the government is not even policies that are encouraging, let the people step in. What we can do, let us do, and let the government do what they can do.
You see, there's also another special aspect to it. We need to look at the psychosocial evaluation, analysis of what is on ground now. Let me tell you this. 1, people are hungry. All right? 2, students are not in school. All right? 3, a lot of able-bodied young guys that are very savvy in IT, they are also jobless. So to that extent, they have to look for a way for survival. All right? And the policemen, on the other hand, they are not, well equipped, they are not well trained. When you also look at those people that are being employed there, go and check their backgrounds, they are not even supposed to be in the police. Okay, even when they are there, they are being sent on some errands that are inimical to even security of the state. Okay, so when you now look at all this and put them together in proper perspective, you will see that when we're talking of security in Nigeria, we are sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
Now, you mentioned something that has to do with the involvement of technology in our security. We see that most of our politicians, they travel. They see what is done across the world. They see how sophisticated, what security is, addressing issues, how quickly and swiftly they move. Why is it so difficult to adopt that? Our policymakers, all of them, they travel, they see these things. One wonders why it's so challenging for them to at least adopt something for us here in the country.
I believe there are two...
Because the society is changing, like you rightly pointed out.
Yes, I believe there are two major reasons for that. One is major, one is minor. The major one is the present setup is to their benefit. That is the truth about it. It's to the benefit of the average politician.
Setup in what sense?
The present police setup,
okay,
the way they are, the analog system of policing, is to their benefit. It's only when they need to really crack something, a crime, that they now hand over to maybe a special unit, IRT and all that. And when I mean politicians, I mean the whole elite. You have musicians going around with policemen that are supposed to, when we talk about these things, we think it's only the politicians. We have artists, big people in the society. We have a state in Lagos, we have a state realtors that have like 10, 15 policemen.
Sure. Following them.
So we just think it's not just politics, elite. It pays the elite the way we are. The other thing is finance. You can see what Lagos state government pumps into policing. Let us not look at this time of post-EndSARS, but before, the Security Trust Fund, you can hardly hear anything happen in Lagos, a crime that will not be cracked. When was the last time you heard of bank robbery in Lagos? Other states should emulate that, but it's money. So that's why I said it's minor.
Speaking about it.
Yes, this technology is not something. Look at an unmanned drone that is used for reconnaissance and even attack. You know how much it costs. So what is our, what's it called now? What is of most importance to us? Is it security? Then we told that part. But as I said, the major reason is the present setup benefits the elite.
And if it has to work, we need to do something about that present setup. We'll have to leave the conversation here now, gentlemen. Dr. Dayo Kayode, Chijibomi Adebi Bennett, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we go on a break.